a 6'6 freshman from Canal, Winchester, Ohio. And David Simon, a 6'9 sophomore from Mount Vernon, Illinois. At center is Jim Kesenich, a 6'10 junior from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. In the backcourt, D'Angelo Woodall, 6-foot senior from Freeport, Illinois. And Terry Collins, a 6-foot sophomore from Fort Wayne. Collins, by the way, a week ago had 36 against UC Irvine. He's averaging 11.6. The top scorer on this club is Kesenich at 14.4. The head coach in his 4th year at IPFW is Doug Knoll. For the Rebels, Dalron Johnson, 6'10 senior from Los Angeles, 15.2. Jermaine Lewis, 6'4 junior from Houston, Texas, or 6'4 senior from Houston, Texas, averaging 9. At center, J.K. Edwards, 6'8 junior, Clemens, North Carolina at 10.9. The All-Vegas backcourt, Marcus Banks, 6'2 senior, 18.8. And Demetrius Hunter, the 6'2 junior, at 9.2. Charlie Spoonhour, 2nd year with the Rebels, 18th year overall. And Gondo, I'm still kind of sick about the SMU game, looking back on the officiating. I mean, that was the most tedious game that we've had at the Thomas and Mack, I think, in years, because the officials called every little thing. And let's hope the officiating crew tonight of Steve Welmer, Vern Harris, and Roosevelt Brown lets these guys play a little bit tonight.
Well, we know them, and they're the officials that will let the players play, and they will not control the game. And you know, anytime the officials control the tempo of a game, they're doing a horrible job. And I've always said this, and I'll repeat it again, that you know, the sign of a good official is you don't notice them. Well, that wasn't the case against SMU, and when you have 50 fouls called, you shoot 49 free throws, you know, who came to a basketball game to watch free throw shooting and fouls being called?
I thought the officials took the enjoyment away from the fans. Fans are paying good money to come to a game, not to see the officials blow the whistle every time the ball goes up and down the floor.
You're right, and it's nice to see the Rebels again back wearing their home white uniforms too, where in Jim Thorpe Classic they're wearing the red uniforms.
Wore the red the first game and the white the second game.
Yeah.
That's so the equipment guys didn't have to do laundry. That's the truth.
I know it is. And
they worked it out with all the teams in the tournament.
Yep, and that was Rocky's idea.
Home the next.
Rocky Rutledge, the equipment manager for UNLV, it was his idea.
Rebels a drive to the goal to our left. There in white, as Gondo said, IPFW in black, and the Rebels control the tip. And Marcus Banks brings the ball across the timeline and kicks it on the right side to Hunter as the Mastodons begin in the man-to-man. Ball at the top of the circle to Hunter. He looks to drive, gets it off to J. Lou for 3. Rolls off to the weak side. The rebound is tipped out long and knocked out of bounds by the Rebels, and the ball to the Mastodons. A fledgling Division I program has chosen an extinct elephant-like mammal as their mascot. And now Woodall across the 10-second line with the ball. Woodall is averaging 5.1 on the year. He's a senior, and I would expect IPFW to try to slow it up and control the tempo. The ball to Jennings, right side to Woodall. He's 30 feet out. Ball top of the circle now to Collins, who's their best outside shooter. We played 40 seconds. We're scoreless. Into Simon Lowe on the block. Looks to turn. Comes to the baseline on J.K. Edwards. Rolls it up no good. The rebound is tipped to the Rebels and taken by Jermaine Lewis, and the Rebels have the ball. Their second possession. Hunter right side into J.K., and the ball knocked out of bounds by Simon. That was a tentative offensive possession, I thought, for IPFW. Playing without one of their leading scorers, Rick Wyand, is out with a bad knee, and his average this year is 11.2. He won't play tonight.
Well, IPFW cannot continue to play the Rebels man-to-man.
Now the ball to Marcus. He drives. He comes under and throws it in off the glass for 2, and the Rebels lead 2-0. And now Woodall in the forecourt. Marcus, 18.8 points a game. That's second in the Mountain West in scoring so far. Ball to the right side now. They go inside to Simon Lowe on the block in the 3-second area. Looks for a cutter, and the ball to Woodall between the two circles. It's 2-0 UNLV. Kestenich, right side, eyes the 3, doesn't shoot it, goes to the dribble on Dalron, swings the ball left side. Here's Woodall throwing into Jennings, Low on the block. Back to Woodall, to Collins, who looks to drive and gets caught for a travel, and the Rebels have the basketball. Final score tonight, I think, will be 92-51.
Well, I hope you're right. I can't see the Rebels at this pace that we start out, even though it's only been a minute and a half, being able to put up 92 points.
Tim Neverett's jotting it down. Marcus in the forecourt with the ball for the Rebels. Comes up the right side now, bounces the ball to Hunter on the wing right. Looks in for a cutter, goes to Edwards on the block. He's got to get double team, gets it off to Jay Lou, gets hammered, the ball flies out of bounds, and the ball to IPFW.
Well, you can see already right now the officials are going to let the players play tonight.
Well, I thought Jay Lou took a pretty good hit in there. 2-0 Rebels after 2 minutes here at the mat, and Woodall brings the ball across the timeline as Spoon pleads his case to the ponderous Steve Welmer, one of the officials. Collins with it. Low Simon, left block, looks to come to the baseline, flips it on top, and Woodall's three is on the way, and it's down, and it's 3-2 IPFW. So the Mastodons take their first lead tonight. Marcus right side to J. Lou, in low, Edwards right block, turns, falls back, 10-footer no, and the rebound by Kesenich for the Mastodons. Outlet now to Woodall, and he brings the ball across the timeline. Top of the circle to Collins. As we said, he had 36 against Irvine. Kesenich driving foul line on Delron. Lays it off to Jennings. His 14-footer is in and out, no. And the rebound is actually, I think Delron might have tipped it in. Scored the basket by Simon, and it's 5-2 IPFW.
Well, you got two matchups in the game, and Marcus right there gets a shot blocked by Simon.
By Simon, the big guy at 6'9", out of there with the ball. Over to Woodall, a cross-court pass to Collins. His three-pointer is on the way. That's long. Hunter after the rebound, but it's tracked down by Jennings. Top to Collins. To Simon, foul line, dribbling on Edwards, kicks it left side and throws the ball out of bounds, and the Rebels will have it. It's 5-2 IPFW. Little mini 5-0 run by the Mastodons.
Well, the two matchups is Kesenich and Delron, and Marcus and Collins. Those are the two matchups that we can watch tonight.
Marcus in the forecourt. Love to see the Rebels get to Delron Johnson going offensively. Been actually below double figures in 2 of his last 3 games. Now Jay Lou on the right side with the ball, backs up behind the arc, throwing into Delron, give and go back to Jay Lou, puts it up, they block it, it's loose on the baseline, Jay Lou after it, and the ball out of bounds. And again, Spoon said, where was the foul call?
Both times Jay Lou ends up on the floor as so much contact, and no whistle was blown either time.
That was a nice looking give and go though on the baseline between Delron and Jay Lou, and here's Woodall in the forecourt. Left side to Kesenich. Kesenich at 6'10", playing on the outside. Between the circles to Woodall with Banks defensively. Right side the ball comes to Jennings, and he's played by Jay Lou. Top of the circle with the ball Collins. He bounces low to Simon. Simon is passed to Woodall, back to Simon, and Simon jams, and it's 7-2 IPFW, and the fans in shock here at the Thomas and Mack.
And that was a nice give and go as Simon finishes off with a dunk.
You don't want to give this team the thought that they might have a prayer tonight against the Rebels, and right now IPFW is seemingly gaining confidence with every possession. And now we get a foul on the outside called on Jennings, playing Jermaine Lewis. That's his first, and we get our first media timeout. 15:57 to go in the first half. IPFW 7 and the Rebels 2 on the UNLV Sports Network. Seven to 2 IPFW with 15:57 to go in the first half. Condo.
Well, they're out rebounding the Rebels 6-1, and this is a game I thought the Rebels should really dominate, but when you're down by 5 early in this game, it's one reason is because you haven't done a very good job on the board.
Rebels driving to our left, inbound the ball to Marcus Banks. They get a fresh 35 on the clock, and the ball to Jermaine Lewis, left side. Edwards pops up high, looks for Dalron Lowe. He's got him right block. He turns in traffic. His 5-footer is good off the window, and it's 7-4 IPFW. I don't think that the Mastodons have a matchup for Dalron. Rebels some full court pressure. They trap on the inbound. Now the ball comes back to Kesinich, still in the back court. He gets it off to Woodall, and he brings it across the 10-second line for IPFW. Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Woodall on the drive. Lays it off left side. Kesinich three-pointer. Rolls off to the weak side to Banks. The Rebels look to run. Marcus in the front court, left side to Hunter. Back behind him to Jermaine Lewis. Back to Hunter, in low to Edwards, nice pass. They block it, and we got a rotating possession, and the ball to the Mastodons on the arrow. 7-4 IPFW.
So that time J.K. attacks Jim Kesinich and David Simon, and they list Kesinich at 6'10" and Simon at 6'9".
Mastodons are averaging 68.2 points a game this year and giving up 79. Rebels average 79.2, and the Rebels give up 74.4. In the front court is Woodall with the ball. Driving baseline left is Collins, shut off by Hunter, and the pass knocked out of bounds by UNLV. IPFW's most recent game was against Mountain West San Diego State on Monday. They lost to the Aztecs 74-58. They played at UC Irvine. Lost to the Anteaters on Saturday night at the Bren Center, 96-79. They inbound the ball. New player in the game, Tyler Clevenger. And we get a steal by the Rebels immediately off the inbound, and Banks comes under and jams, kind of softly jams, and it's 7-6 IPFW.
And anytime you have Marcus out in the open floor, he's capable of picking the pocket. That time he picks it and gets an easy two-handed dunk.
And Clevenger in the front court, and Marcus might devour him. Down the middle, Collins is fouled. Now we get a travel, though, called on Collins. Tyler Clevenger, 6'3" freshman from Winchester, Indiana. You've heard of teams wearing throwback jerseys. Clevenger has throwback hair. Banks in the front court with the ball.
Kind of how I wore my hair in college.
Longtime Rebel fans remember that look. Dalron left side for a three. Bingo, and the Rebels take a 9-7 lead. You had the long curly look, huh? So Dalron's got 5. Clevenger in the front court. Marcus almost steals it, reaches in, and Clevenger instead gets a quick timeout called. That'll be a 30-second timeout called by IPFW, with the Rebels leading 9-7. It's time now for the State Farm Insurance UNLV Women's Sports Report. Well, state bragging rights remain in Las Vegas as the Lady Rebels defeated UNR last weekend 60-55 over in the Cox Pavilion. Sophomore Sherry McCracklin led all Lady Rebels scorers with 14 points and 9 rebounds. Freshman Sheena Moore had 10 points. Lady Rebels are now 7-3 on the young season. They'll ring in the new year on Saturday when the Lady Rebels venture over to Flagstaff to take on Northern Arizona at 5 o'clock on Saturday. And this UNLV Women's Sports Report is brought to you by your local State Farm Insurance agents. Ken Korak with Glenn Godrezek. Ballpark Frank is coordinating back in our studios, and Tim Neverett engineering courtside here at the Thomas and Mack. Rebels lead 9-7 over IPFW. Ball to the right side to Collins. Looks for a cutter and throws inside Simon. Low right block coming into traffic. His 10-footer misses badly. The rebound by Dalron. Outlet to Marcus Banks. The Rebels have gotten their wake-up call. Marcus in the forecourt. J. Lou, right side for 3. Off the back of the rim, and the rebound comes out long to the Mastodons, taken by Collins. Collins quickly in the forecourt. His 16-footer is down, and that ties the ball game at 9. So 9-9. And Hunter in the front court as J. Lou continues to struggle, apparently with his confidence on his outside shot. Ball to Banks, looking Edwards low, left block. He's got it, backing in on Simon, comes under. 5-footer in the lane, no. And the rebound by Simon for IPFW. Outlet now to Clevenger. Throwing quickly, Kesinich beats the Rebels down. Dalron knocks the ball away, and the ball flies out of bounds to the Mastodons. To bring a couple of subs in the game, Quentin Carruthers, 6'4" freshman from Flint, Michigan. And Brad Knoll, the son of head coach Doug Knoll, a 6-foot senior from Spring Harbor, Michigan.
One thing IPFW is doing a very good job is giving the Rebels one shot and out.
Those two 6'9", 6'10" type kids on the inside. Collins dribbling to the foul line, left side to Knoll. His three-pointer is a brick, and the rebound by J.K. They almost steal it from him, and J.K. gets it off to Banks, and the Rebels in a 9-9 tie. Marcus, a cross-court pass to Hunter. His three-pointer is off the back of the rim. Rebound Edwards as the Rebels keep it. Edwards gets it back now between the circles to Marcus Banks. The Rebels going to run a play here. Marcus on the outside between the circles, now comes left of the circle, comes to the foul line, puts up a jumper and buries it, and the Rebels lead 11-9.
And this is really an aspect of Marcus's game that he could do a lot more, just be a little bit more selfish offensively.
Well, he's just so tough to stop one-on-one. Not sure anybody can stop. Here's a steal by Demetrius Hunter. He's got it, he fumbles it, he regains it, and a reverse jam by Demetrius. 13-9 UNLV.
And Demetrius was going to give the ball up to Jay Lou, but Jay Lou stopped running, so Demetrius calmly just a two-hand over the head backward dunk.
Knoll in the front court. Now we get something away from the ball. Not sure what they caught a foul on the Rebels, apparently on Hunter. Well away from the ball. And now James Peters checks in for the Rebels for J.K. Edwards. And Demetrius Hunter will leave as Ernest Turner checks in for UNLV. 13-9 in favor of Charlie Spoonhour's ball club.
Now it's up to E.T. Ernest Turner to stop Collins of IPFW.
Mastodons inbound the ball. Knoll has it, baseline. Throws it inside. The Rebels steal it. E.T.'s got it. They got a 4-on-3. Turner bouncing left side to Jay Lou. He comes under and he gets fouled before the shot, but they call it travel before the shot as the Rebels fail to convert. Had a great opportunity that time for the breakaway, but turned it over.
And Jermaine Lewis off to a tough start tonight for the Rebels.
Those are little kinds of things that can haunt a ball club against a real good team. You just have to take advantage of those opportunities on the fast break. Substitution, Kyle Thrasher is in for IPFW. 6'8" freshman from Pekin, Indiana. And the ball to Carruthers. The ball to Thrasher. Thrasher throws the ball to the left, and here's a jumper put up and missed by Collins, but the rebound is taken by Kesenich, but the Rebels steal the ball from him. Banks has got it. Here's a 4-on-2, right side Peters. Great pass back behind him, and Delron jams. A beautiful no-look back behind his shoulder pass by Peters, and a slam by Delron. It's 15-9 Rebels. Now quickly a foul on Banks, guarding Knoll too closely. And we get a timeout. 11:26 to go first half. Rebels 15, IPFW 9 on the UNLV Sports Network. Here at the Thomas and Mack, we have 11:26 to go until halftime, and the Rebels lead 15-9 over IPFW.
Rebels officially with 4 fast break points in this game, and the last one they executed perfection is James Peters puts a little mustard on the dog.
Rebels 7 of 14 from the field. Marcus Banks is 3 for 4, has 6 points, and Delron Johnson 3 for 3, and he has 7. Rebels lead 15-9, and Woodall brings the ball across the timeline for the Mastodons. Right side over to Knoll, who's actually gaining on 1,000 points for his career in Fort Wayne. Woodall with it, played by Banks, throwing to Knoll. left side behind the arc, now between the circles to Woodall with a timer at 17. Rebels man-to-man. Here's the bad lob, and it's intercepted by Turner. E.T. with the ball over to Marcus. Banks in the forecourt, left of the circle now. Gets it top of the key to Omari Pearson, who's in. Over to Turner. E.T. back behind the arc. Gets it off to Banks, and Marcus brings it back out. Rebels reset. Timer at 20. Ball to Lewis. J. Lou on the drive. They strip him, and it's stolen by Simon. But J. Lou just can't get anything going offensively. And now in the backcourt, it's Knoll with the ball across the timeline for IPFW.
Sometimes J. Lou just pushing a little bit too hard.
Carruthers right side, stolen by J. Lou. Great play by Lewis. He comes under, he's hammered, and he's fouled by Woodall. They could have called intentional that time.
And they should have.
Be a two-shot foul.
I mean, you got Jermaine Lewis.
They say in football, he wasn't going for the ball.
No. And Jermaine Lewis is driving down the lane on a breakaway and ends up in the cheerleading section.
Well, that's not a bad alternative sometimes.
J.
Lou will shoot too. So the foul on Woodall, his first, second on the team. And the free throw by Jermaine is no good. 13 for 29, the Rebels on Sunday against SMU. It's 15-9 Rebels, and one more foul shot for Lewis. Second one coming, and that is no good. I hope this doesn't become one of those mental things, Gondo.
Well, it's bad enough that you can't make free throws at home, but they're critical when you go on the road, and with some tough road games coming up, the Rebels got to find an answer to their free throw trouble.
Well, their inability to convert at the line made the Sunday game much too scary down the stretch against SMU. Ball into Simon, low left block, turning into a double team, puts up a 5-footer, in and out and back in. Nice move by the big fella, Simon, who was a volleyball player for 1 year, actually, at Loyola of Chicago. 15-11 UNLV. Marcus with the ball over to Turner. E.T. on the outside, swings the ball right side to Peters. Top of the circle to Lewis. They go left side to Turner. His three-pointer is a brick, and the rebound by Simon. Rebels by 4, 15-11. Long in the front court. Here's Knoll right side, dribbling baseline, and throws the ball out of bounds, but he was fouled on the pass-off. Foul on the Rebels. And a foul on Turner.
Simon, they mentioned that they list him at 6'9". He's a sophomore, and he's got a nice-looking future ahead of him. He's not a bad-looking player for IPFW as the crowd comes alive with John Nockey checking in.
You know that if he played collegiate volleyball, he has to be a pretty good athlete. Has to have some skills. 15-11, inbound Simon right side. And he's got Woodall now with the ball right of the circle. Kicks it right side. Knoll comes behind a pick and shoots a three and misses it. Great rebound is put up and scored by Carruthers from the weak side. First basket by the freshman Quentin Carruthers, and it's 15-13 UNLV.
Well, this might surprise you, but IPFW was in the Final Four of volleyball not too many years ago.
And Turner with the ball left side to Nockey. How do you know that? Nockey's pass is deflected, but actually he threw the ball out of bounds. And Rebels turn it over. Just a 2-point lead for UNLV as Terry Collins, no relation to the former Anaheim Angels manager of the same name, is back on the floor for IPFW. He actually began his career at Appalachian State, Collins. Woodall with the ball played by Turner. Woodall kicks the ball out of bounds. Good defensive pressure by Turner on the outside. Rebels have it. Rebels lead by 2.
And Rebels catch a break as the ball actually went off Ernest Turner's foot.
A dialogue that's lasted about a dozen years going on right now between Charlie Spoonhour and Steve Wilmer.
Well, Spoon has great stories about him and Steve Wilmer as they go back over the years.
Nockey in the front court with the ball. And the ball inside to Pearson. Pearson's 5-footer, no. They tip it. It's grabbed by James Peters. A one-bounce dribble and a nice pass over to Turner. E.T. comes under, and he's fouled, going up a 2-shot foul. A couple of nice passes so far tonight on the interior by James Peters. 2-point lead, UNLV. The foul was on Thrasher.
Well, Rebels are just keeping enough space inside where you have that room where James Peters can make some nice passes inside, and when you have a size advantage inside, that's going to be critical in this game.
Ernest Turner will shoot 2 for the Rebels. On the way, that's no good. Spoon just says, I can't believe it. That's 13 for 32 from the line in the last 2 games.
Well, I've yet to convert in 3 tries tonight.
Next one on the way. That's no good. This is almost beyond belief, and it's 15-13 UNLV. They're 0 for 4 from the line tonight. Knoll in the front court. He throws it back behind Woodall, who tracks it down near the 10-second line. Woodall kicks it on the left side now to Collins. Collins goes to the dribble. Woodall's got it between the two circles. Back left of the circle now to Collins. Got Simon low on the block. Left block, Simon kicks it right side to Knoll. He goes to the dribble in traffic. Top of the circle, Woodall's three is no good, and the rebound by James Peters. Outlet to Naki. Naki throws the ball right side to Bigby, who drives, comes under, hangs off the window for 2 points. Nice play by Bigby. 17-13 UNLV.
But Naki doing a good job of pushing the ball up the floor.
And Woodall back in the forecourt for the Mastodons. And here's Collins, 16-footer, no, and the Rebels are there for the rebound. Turner's got it, Rebels by 4. Naki pass in the front court for Pearson is knocked out of bounds by Simon. And we get our third media timeout, 7:50 left in the half. Rebels 17, IPFW 13 on the UNLV Sports Network.
Do I do an ID coming out of this one? We should be right on time. Thank you. You're the man.
BPF. Rebels inbound the ball to Dalron Johnson. Right side, his three-pointer is down off the inbound. It took a second for the Rebels to take a 20-13 lead.
A set play out of the timeout.
And Dalron's got 10. He's made 2 threes tonight. Woodall in the front court. Rebels have their biggest lead. Simon's got it between the two circles for IPFW. One bounce dribble, right side Collins three-pointer. Off the rim, no. The rebound high by Edwards. He throws a bad outlet, and Collins steals it for IPFW. His 10-footer misses, and a good rebound by J.K. Strong rebound in traffic. Rebels front court, right side Bigby. Here's the 2 by Bigby, no. Rebound quickly taken by IPFW by Collins, and now to Woodall. Dalron Johnson 2 for 2 from three-point country. Kesenich right side with the ball, slicing Woodall right baseline, loses it, ball in traffic, Rebels steal it, Edwards has it now to Banks. Marcus weaving into the forecourt, comes left of the circle, puts up a 3, and he's fouled by Woodall, a 3-shot foul. I'm not sure Spoon liked that shot selection by Marcus.
No, because it wasn't in the early transition. It was after IPFW had already got back and set up defensively, but now a chance for the Rebels to get off the snide as far as free throws with Marcus with 2 chances.
Is he going to knock down both of them?
Oh, yeah. This is the guy you want in the line, even though that he struggled just a little bit, but made enough to beat SMU.
Free throw good. I wanted to make a point about Dalron Johnson's three-point shooting. 2 for 2 tonight. On the season, he's 12 for 23. So he shoots them somewhat sparingly, but Dalron's better than 50% on his three-point shots this year. Marcus missed the second. This is a 3-shot trip to the stripe on a foul on a 3. So he made the first, missed the second. It's 21-13 Rebels. 6:54 to go. Marcus' third one is good. So the Rebels are now 2 for 7 from the line tonight. And it's 22-13. Woodall the other way, lays it in for 2. It counts, and he's fouled as the Rebels didn't get back and react defensively.
and Woodall just split the Rebel defenders and went all the way to the hoop, a chance for a three-point play. And that's something that if you want to attract Charlie Spoonhour's attention, just do that again, and guess where you'll be up? You'll be sitting right next to Spoon on the bench.
Final score tonight, BYU, as it turned out, routed Pepperdine 84-68. So the Cougars defeat the Waves by 16 at the Marriott Center. 42 consecutive home wins for BYU and a 10-2 record to begin the season. Free throw missed by Woodall. Rebels up 7. A pass stolen away by the Mastodons. And here's Woodall on the front court right side. To Collins and now to Woodall. Rebels up by only 7 here with 6:36 to go in the half. Collins wide right in front of us. Looks in low. He's got Simon on the right block. Looks to back in, comes into the keys, spinning, puts up a 10-footer and banks it in from straight away. And it's 22-17 UNLV. Marcus front court to Dowron, back over to Banks. Yep, little 2-3 look by IPFW. And Hunter's got it. Rebels in the backcourt. Hunter and Banks. Marcus drives and he's hammered. And that's the 15th foul on IPFW, not a shooting foul. Rebels have Bigby, Delron, Hunter, Banks, and Edwards. So some extended minutes, Gondo, in the first half for Lamar Bigby playing the 3 spot with Jay Lou on the bench right now.
Well, John Nockey and Bigby have been playing well for the Rebels in sparing minutes, but the thing is they've been productive when they've been on the floor.
Inbound to Dalron, back to Marcus. Nice play, and Marcus lays it in for 2 off the assist by Dalron Johnson off the inbound. Couple of nice-looking inbound executions by the Rebels so far.
Not a set play, but just good recognition by Dalron and Marcus.
24-17. Simon down the middle gets fouled by the Rebels. A lot of contact. Simon and Bigby. Bigby commits the foul. A reminder, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Chevron. While many gasolines can leave harmful deposits on engine parts, Chevron with Techron helps keep them clean and your car performing its best. Chevron. 2 shots for David Simon. Redshirted last year after transferring from Loyola of Chicago. He made the first. Rebels go back to Jermaine Lewis for Bigby. It's 24-18 UNLV. Santa Clara here on Saturday at 7:30. And the Broncos will bring a 6-game winning streak into that ball game.
And Simon, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Gondo.
No, I was going to say Simon now with double figures. He has 10 points and 6 rebounds early in this game.
He's been a factor on the inside, listed at 6'9". Zone defense, 2-3. Hunter right side, penetrates. Great pass, and Edwards lays it in for 2. Little dribble penetration. Edwards was wide open underneath, and that prompts a 30-second timeout called by Doug Knoll of IPFW, with the Rebels leading by 7, 26-19.
And this is one thing I felt was really important for the Rebels, first to recognize the zone defenses and then to be able to execute against them. And so far, the Rebels no problem with that IPFW zone.
UNLV Athletics is brought to you in part by American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof. See the yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you. So 7 o'clock for the pregame, 7:30 for the tip with Santa Clara. Got a very good player in all WCC guard Kyle Bailey. Santa Clara won the venerable Cable Car Classic this past weekend. They defeated Princeton in the championship game on Saturday, 77-71. And their most recent game was against Wright State on Monday. Beat them 71-67. Rebels leading 26-19. Knoll front court for the Mastodons wearing black. Ball to Collins, right side to Carruthers. He throws a skip pass, left side Collins, 3, in and out, stays out. Rebound by Jay Lou for the Rebels. Outlet to Banks, Marcus running. Left side to Johnson, the trailer is Lewis. Gets it off to Marcus now. Right of the circle, and Marcus goes to the dribble, now terminates 40 feet out. Lewis has it. Rebels trying to get into their offense now with a timer at 20, and Marcus has the ball near the 10-second line. Timer at 15. High pick by Dalron. Marcus around it, comes right side, lays it off for Lewis. 18-footer no good. Rebound to Edwards, out to Hunter. Got a good look at a 3, hesitates, now shoots it and misses it. And the rebound to the Mastodons by Simon. Outlet now to Collins down the middle. Lays it off on the left. Knoll fumbles it, regains it. A pump fake, gets it inside Simon, and he's fouled going up, a 2-shot foul.
And Demetrius that time, just a little bit too much time to be able to line that three-pointer attempt up, where he even had enough time to even take that single dribble before he released that three.
The longer you think about it, the harder the shot becomes, right?
Yeah, because it's a reaction, and you should just catch and shoot, and that's what Demetrius Hunter is very good at doing in that time, and just a little bit too much time to think about it.
It's like 2 minutes standing over a 3-foot putt. It's not going to work. Free throw by Simon, no good. It's 26-19 UNLV. Simon missed the first. Simon's second one is good, and the Rebels have a 6-point advantage with 4:33 to go in the first half. At the Thomas and Mack, where the Rebels under Charlie Spoonhour have played 27 previous games in the last year and a half, and the Rebels are 23-4 at home under Spoon. Now Lewis between the circles for the Rebels. Rebels go left side now. He's got Marcus on the wing. Dalron sets a high pick. Little two-man game. Marcus around it, kicks it right side to Lewis. Right block, Hunter coming under in traffic, tries to wedge a shot. No. Battle for the rebound. On the floor, they dive on it. Still on after it. Rebels come out of there, and we get a held ball. And on the arrow, it'll be UNLV basketball. And with an even 4 minutes left till halftime, and the Rebels leading by 6.
Rebels will get the ball out of bounds underneath their own basket, and this is normally when they run Delron off a double pick.
Jennings back in for IPFW for Simon. 11 points and 7 rebounds for Simon. UNLV's 11 for 24 from the floor. IPFW is 8 for 22. Rebels led by Banks 10 and Dalron 10. So the big two, 20 of the 26. Rebels inbound to Dalron. Lays a good pass top of the circle to Hunter, back to Dalron. Edwards is low on the block. He's got the pass. He backs in, he turns, and his 5-footer is down. Good execution by UNLV. And it's 28-20 Rebels. Some of their best execution tonight has come after inbounds. Now we get a steal by the Rebels, and Banks has got it. Rebels have a 2-on-2. Wrap around to Jay Lou all the way. Yes, it counts, and he's fouled. And the Rebels lead by 10, 30-20.
You know, I really think the way that J.K. Edwards has really developed over the last couple of weeks is a direct result of it. He's getting to field Division I level basketball, but he's also getting in better shape.
The other thing, too, is they're really looking for him on the block now. 30-20. 6 team fouls on IPFW. And the free throw is good by Jermaine Lewis. We get a timeout. Our last media timeout. 3:37 to go till halftime. Rebels have their biggest lead. UNLV 31, IPFW 20 on the UNLV Sports Network. .337 to go in the half. Gondo, Rebels 31, IPFW 20.
Rebels have 8 assists to go along with 8 turnovers, but you look at IPFW, only 2 assists and 12 turnovers.
And the Rebels lead by 11. Some full court pressure by the Rebels set up. IPFW in the backcourt, and Collins tries to bring it across and finally does, but Hunter swats the ball out of bounds. Double teamed by the Rebels at the 10-second line. James Peters back in for the Rebels Gondo.
Anytime the Rebels will put any type of full court pressure on, it's really disrupted IPFW.
Backup point guard Thrasher is back on the floor, and he throws it, and Jermaine Lewis knocks the ball out of bounds. Rebels with Lewis, Banks, Hunter, Johnson, and Peters. Rebels looking to go to 9-2 on the campaign. This start after 10 games, the Rebels' best since the 96-97 campaign, when the Rebels began 11-2. Right now the Rebels are 8-2. Thrasher with the ball top of the circle. Here's Carruthers with it left of the circle, still on the outside. Dribbles to the baseline, gets it into Kesenich, and he beats the 35-second clock and scores on an 8-footer. 31-22 UNLV.
And Kesenich, who averages almost 15 a game, that's his first points.
Rebels in the front court, lead by 9. Marcus gets double teamed. They chase him. Rebels get the ball to Delron. Great pass to James Peters for 2. Beautiful pass by Delron Johnson, who's playing a complete ball game for the Rebels tonight, especially on the offensive end.
Delron's third assist in the game.
And here's Marcus stealing the ball from Thrasher. Marcus one-on-one goes around Thrasher, and he's fouled, a 2-shot foul. Thrasher's going to see that move in his nightmares tonight.
Well, Thrasher's, excuse me, you look at the way that Marcus has played on Clevenger.
Check it, it was Clevenger.
Yeah, Clevenger.
Marcus
He's already picked his pocket twice tonight, but Marcus held up and let him catch up and try to play defense on him, then use a crossover move. And I've said this time and time again this year that Marcus has a great crossover move, and the defender, every time he does it, really needs to go get their ankles retaped because they almost break an ankle trying to stay with Marcus.
My mistake, that was Clevenger running the point, Marcus going around him, and Clevenger fouling him. And Marcus's foul shot is good, and Clevenger leaves, and Knoll checks in for Tyler Clevenger. 34-22 UNLV, and Marcus has 11. 13 turnovers on IPFW. Marcus' second one is on the way, and that is perfect. And the Rebels lead by 13 at 35-22. Knoll in the front court. Collins dribbling, coming under. 5-footer around, no good. Rebound tip to the Rebels, and Hunter has got it. Demetrius in the forecourt, right side to Dalron. Dalron holding on the wing, a skip pass to Marcus. Left wing, dribbles baseline, steps back, 18-footer no. Rebound Jennings for IPFW.
Rebels are up by 13 with 2 minutes to go in the half. Important they close out strong.
Knowles got it on the outside right of the circle, now between the circles, and backing up near the 10-second line is Collins, played by Banks. Marcus strips him, and it's off of Collins, out of bounds to the Rebels. Not sure I've seen anyone with quicker feet and quicker hands defensively, Gondo.
All I know, if I was a point guard on the opposing team and had to face Marcus Banks, I wouldn't sleep real well the night before the game.
And that's why Naki says, hey, I've become a pretty good player. I have to play against Marcus every day in practice.
There's no better experience than going against Marcus every single day.
And Marcus in the forecourt, the Rebels by 13. A pick high by Hunter, the ball left side to Jay Lou. Jay Lou looks for a cutter, stops the dribble, goes to Dalron. He's open for 3, side of the rim, and the rebound by Collins. Out of the pack with the ball, Collins, left side to Knoll. Knoll to Collins with the 1:30 left in the half, and the Rebels by 13. Ball to Jennings, now to Knoll. Carruthers between the circles has it. Dribbling on Lewis, comes around him, comes all the way, and lays it in for 2. And it's a 35-24 UNLV.
Carruthers with a nice move to the bucket, but no weak side help defensively by the Rebels.
Marcus in the forecourt, top of the circle, and Spoon wants it 30. So Spoon calls a 30-second timeout with 1:10 to go in the half. Reminder, after a 2-week hiatus, the Charlie Spoon Hour radio show returns to the ESPN zone on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. We'll be out there live. You can listen to the show right here. 7 o'clock, the Charlie Spoon Hour radio show this Tuesday from the ESPN zone located in the New York Hotel.
I know you're looking forward to getting back to your salmon or whatever it is that you always have.
They've got a nice salmon. They really do. And Tim Neverett enjoys the barbecued ribs. I'll tell you, that's a plate of ribs too, Gondo.
Oh, the portions are huge there.
35-24, the Rebels have the lead with 1:10 to go in the half.
Spoon using the timeout. He wants to finish out this half strong.
And the inbound to Banks. See if they get a little man-to-man or zone from IPFW. Get some zone look. And Marcus on the outside. Timer's at 15. The game clock at 1 minute left in the half. Marcus gets it off on the left to Hunter now. Looks for a cutter. Throws to Marcus between the circles. 8 on the timer. Marcus still dribbling. Comes under in traffic. Comes all the way. and we get a foul called on IPFW. This will be 1-1.
And Carruthers that time was out playing the point in that zone defense, and he was matched up with Marcus. Marcus put a move, so that crossover move, and put Carruthers, who tried to stay with him, on his bottom.
35-24, 1-1 for Marcus, who's got a dozen to lead the Rebels. Delron's got 10. In a fast-paced first half. Marcus for the first one, that's good, and it's 36-24. Duke defeated Fairfield today, 86-58. UConn over St. Bonaventure, 95-78. Kentucky beat Alcorn State, 94-63. Second one good. Marcus with 2 foul shots. The Rebels lead by 13. And we get a ball knocked loose and a turnover on IPFW. Demetrius Hunter creates the turnover. And
Demetrius with a big smile on his face as he knows that there should have been a foul call against him as he just pushes Knoll of IPFW out of bounds.
37-24, and Jay Lou will trigger the inbound to Marcus. And Banks dribbles left of the circle now. Where's number 3 for UNLV? Jay Lou pops out left wing. Peters comes high. Jay Lou on the dribble. Comes to the foul line, comes into traffic, lays a great pass to Peters, and he lays it in for 2. Nice assist off the penetration. Now Rebels steal the inbound. Marcus to Delron for a slam. And the Rebels lead by 17, 41-34. A quick flurry for the Rebels of 4 points in about 3 seconds, and IPFW calls a 30-second timeout.
Our head coach Doug Knoll not wasting any time, only 25 seconds to go in the first half, and uses a timeout.
Good awareness by the Rebels tonight, Gondo, on their passing of the open teammates on the inside.
Well, and you can see that how Marcus Banks can disrupt you with his defense, and that time still in the inbound pass and finding Delron for the easy dunk, but just the way that Marcus has completely taken this IPFW team out of their offense.
41-24 Rebels, 24.9 seconds left. Let's see, they have 16 turnovers. IPFW has lost 7 consecutive games. Their only wins this year were against Eastern Kentucky and Lipscomb. Lipscomb is one of those obscure Division I schools in Nashville.
Well, San Diego State had them down at one point in the first half, 43-14.
Full court Rebel pressure. Collins in the backcourt. Collins still has it back there. Gets it to Thrasher, who's in. Right side, Carruthers dribbling on Jay Lou. Brings the ball back out. Marcus almost steals it. 10 seconds left in the half. Rebels by 17. Bounce pass right side. Now between the circles, here's Woodall with the ball with 3 seconds left. Woodall, top of the key, is going to have to force it. He does over Marcus. No, that's the end of the half. After a slow start, I thought the Rebels played a very solid first half of basketball here tonight. Gondo, as they have dominated this outmanned IPFW ball club, as the Rebels lead by 17, 41-24.
Well, Rebels have forced 16 turnovers, and Marcus Banks has been the catalyst in the first half of the Rebels tonight, just completely taking them out of anything that they try to do offensively, and then also at the offensive end for the Rebels, finding his teammates and just playing a complete all-around first half for the Rebels.
Stay tuned. Rebels lead by 17. Our halftime coverage follows after these messages on the UNLV Sports Network. Coming up, Gondo against the Trojans here at the Thomas & Mack. Arizona is playing this evening against Oregon up in the Northwest. Aren't they? I thought Arizona was playing tonight. can't find their score. Maybe that's that game isn't this evening. Have to double check it. Anyway, the Rebels come out to begin the second half. And it's the original starting lineup of Banks, Hunter, Lewis, Dalron, and Edwards. Woodall's got it on the outside, dribbling to the right side. Woodall keeps the dribble now, terminates wide right, looks for a cutter, got trouble, throws it. Edwards steals it. Rebels have a breakaway in the ball to Hunter, and Demetrius will jam. Emphatically jamming Demetrius Hunter. And the Rebels by 19.
Second time tonight, Demetrius has had a breakaway dunk.
Into the front court comes Woodall with the ball. Rebels have their biggest lead. Collins, top of the circle now with it. Dribbles to the left side, looks for a cutter, and throws inside to Simon on the block with Edwards defensively. Simon throws it through Kesenich. He saves it. Ball in the backcourt. The Rebels deflected it legally. Taken by IPFW by Woodall. Lays it off to Jennings. His three from the wing is a brick up, over, and out it goes. And the ball will go to UNLV.
Well, Demetrius coming off that MVP performance of the Jim Thorpe Classic last weekend, and tonight all 4 points come on those two breakaway dunks.
So the Rebels in the front court, and they got a 19-point lead. Ball into Marcus, posting up. He's got Woodall behind him, over to Hunter, behind to Edwards. Now right side to Jay Lou for three. That's no good. And the rebound tipped out long by Simon over to Woodall for IPFW. And it's 43-24 UNLV. Kesenich wide right with the ball. Played by Dalron. We get a whistle away from the ball and a foul on UNLV.
Well, I just really feel for the way that Jermaine Lewis continues to struggle shooting the ball 1 of 6 in the game tonight. Knowing him as, you know, such a good kid, and you know, just got his degree and, you know, his bright future in law enforcement, you know, to see him struggle out on the basketball floor.
They need him to knock down those shots. And the ball comes to Collins with the Rebels leading by 19. Left side Woodall, baseline left, in low left block to Kesenich, and a foul from behind by Dalron Johnson. That's the first on Dalron, second on the team, second half. Here comes the inbound now to Simon in traffic, twisting, turning, lost it going up. They battle for it. The Rebels come out of there with the ball and a 19-point lead. Jermaine Lewis to the trailer Hunter, who fumbles it away over to Collins. 3-on-1 the other way for IPFW. Collins down the left, a concession layup as Collins scores, and it's 43-26 UNLV. So 43-26 Rebels after 2 minutes of the second half. Dalron left side, back behind him. He's got Marcus on the outside left. They clear out. Marcus dribbles, comes baseline. He's open from 10, but his shot was deflected. JK gets the garbage and lays it in. Do they count the basket? Yes, count the basket on a continuation, and
Steve
a foul on
Wilmer.
IPFW.
Steve Wilmer, the official, giving JK the continuation.
No,
they waved it off now.
They waved it off. I thought he clearly gave the score of the basket sign. Rebels inbound, baseline front court. Marcus to Banks, or Marcus to Jay Lou. Jay Lou comes down the middle, gets it to Edwards and back to Lewis left side. The Rebels in command by 17 here. Now we get a foul inside, called on Kesenich of IPFW.
That time a little two-man game between Jermaine Lewis and J.K. Edwards, a little give and go. That's about the third or fourth time tonight that the Rebels have really executed a nice give and go play.
All the way through.
So the Rebels inbound the ball. Here's Hunter on the drive, but he's fouled going up. That'll be a two-shot foul. I guess Arizona and Oregon are going to play tomorrow. I had read one Wire report talking about that game being tonight, but I guess that top 25 matchup is tomorrow in the Pac-10. And the Pac-10 opener for both teams. So it's 43-26. Hunter on the line, free throw good.
Demetrius Hunter at the free throw line makes this one. You can expect the Rebels to put some full court pressure on.
Well, after a tough start from the stripe, the Rebels are now 8 for 13 tonight. And he missed the second, so 8 for 14. And Simon rebounds for IPFW, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Hunter. 17:27 to go. In the game, the Rebels by 18, 44-26.
And David Simon, the big center for IPFW, has been the only bright spot for them in the game tonight.
2-12 this year, the Mastodons, and RPI off collegerpi.com of 282 entering the game. Rebels at 17. Here's Collins open left side. His three-pointer is long, and the rebound by Edwards. J.K. closing in on double figures and boards. He's got 8. Hunter right side quickly. Rebels in the forecourt. The 3 by Demetrius up and off the 35-second clock. And the ball to IPFW when with the Rebels leading by 18. And Collins in the forecourt for the Mastodons, played by Hunter between the two circles. Collins dribbles to the top of the circle. Here's a drive by Carruthers. He takes 3 steps. Ball inside Simon, fumbling. It's loose in the key. And the Rebels steal it. Marcus has got it. And they've got a 3-on-2. Marcus in the middle. Great pass to Hunter. He hangs. He scores. It counts, and he's fouled. Good execution by the Rebels in the break. The basket by Hunter. And the assist to Marcus Banks.
That's the 4th time the Rebels have run their fast break offense to perfection, and now Demetrius Hunter with a chance for a 3-point play. And the thing that you like right now is the fans are kind of waiting to, have something to cheer about as the Rebels are comfortably up by 20. But the thing is that the Rebels continue to play hard, and they have to continue to execute.
46-26. Demetrius free throw good, and it's 47-26 UNLV. So the Rebels by 21. And Hunter's got 8. Clevenger's back in for IPFW. Woodall comes in the forecourt. Woodall's got it wide right, comes into traffic. And here's a drive by Clevenger to the foul line, splits the Rebel defense, and he's fouled going up. And that'll be a 2-shot foul, with the Rebels leading by 21, 47-26.
The last thing that Charlie Spooner wants from his club is get lackadaisical, especially defensively. One thing that Spoon really stresses is that defensive pressure constantly.
And the free throw no good. Every score, ESPN.com, the AOL scoreboards that I've checked list the Arizona-Oregon game for tonight. But there's been no score anywhere. And then I saw one schedule that was up on a website that had them playing tonight and tomorrow. So
doubleheader.
I plead guilty as charged on that one. 1 free throw good, 1 missed. 47-27. Rebels by 20. Marcus with the ball to Turner, who's in, but it's stolen by Carruthers, and Carruthers goes coast to coast and jams, and the Rebel lead is 18, 47-29. 18-point lead UNLV. So let's reset the Rebel lineup. It's Edwards, Johnson, Lewis, Turner, and Banks. Marcus with the ball outside, top of the circle. He kicks it left side to Turner. Dalron low on the block. Thrasher behind him. Dalron turning, twisting, comes into traffic. 5-footer good. It counts, and he's fouled. The smooth Dalron Johnson tonight with a dozen for the Rebels. Count the basket, foul on Thrasher. 49-29 UNLV.
Well, that's just a huge mismatch inside as Delron's matched up with Thrasher, and the IPFW forward is no match defensively for Delron.
Delron foul shot good, and that takes us to our first media timeout of the second half. 15:58 to go in the ball game. Rebels 50, IPFW 29 on the UNLV Sports Network. 15:58 to go in the ball game. The Rebels lead IPFW 50-29. A Rebel win would improve their mark to 9-2 this year. Right now, the Rebels at home entering the ball game 6-1, 2-1 on the road. IPFW inbounds the ball, and they can't get it in. A 5-second call, and another IPFW turnover, their 19th, Gondo.
Yeah, this is the type of game where guys at the end of the bench are really pulling hard so they get some playing time, and they don't want any slippage by the guys that play the majority of the minutes for the Rebels. And after forcing 19 turnovers, you know, their prospects of playing real good. And I'm talking about John Osborne and Mike Paulus at the end of the bench.
Rebels inbound left side to Ernest Turner. Dalron pops out behind a pick. He's got a three-pointer on the way, front rim side of the rim. No, tip by Jay Lou. Good. Nice play by Jay Lou on the rebound off the miss by Dalron, and the Rebels lead by 23, 52-29.
Jay Lou came from a long ways away to get that offensive rebound.
In the backcourt, Rebels some three-quarter court pressure, and it's stolen by Marcus. He tries to whip it to Edwards, and the ball flies out of bounds off of Woodall of IPFW.
Well, you look at Marcus, that's unbelievable. That's his 7th steal in this game.
52-29. Marcus inbounds right side to Lewis. Rebels in command. The Rebels were up by 17 at the break. Driving is Turner through traffic. A player control foul is called on ET. 52-29. Full court press set up by the Rebels. Kesenich in the backcourt confronts a double team, gets it to Clevenger, he lays it off to Woodall, bounce pass to Thrasher, who lays it in. Nice execution that time by the Mastodons, breaking the Rebel press, and the Rebels lead by 21. Banks in the front court to Dalron, corner the key. Comes under on the drive, lost it, ball knocked out of bounds off of Dalron, and the ball to IPFW.
Well, you look at IPFW now, they convert on against the pressure, full court pressure by the Rebels, and they come down and force a turnover.
So Woodall in the forecourt and a foul away from the ball. On the Rebels, I think, Gondo.
They're going to get Ernest Turner with the personal foul. Ernest, that's his 3rd personal foul.
Let's go.
14:55 to go in the game, and Woodall for IPFW. Woodall gets it left side. Here's Clevenger's three. Front rim, the high rebound. Lewis after it. It's volleyball. Regained by IPFW. They get a fresh 35 on the clock. Here's Kesenich missing on a three, and the ball is knocked out of bounds in the rebound by IPFW. And the ball to the Rebels, who lead by 21.
Well, the Rebels have done a good job defensively against Kesenich. Averages almost 15 per game. So far tonight, only 2 points.
Rebel ball, front court. They lobbed to Marcus, but Dalron made it. That's got to be a three.
It is.
Dalron tried to lob the ball from 30 feet out to Marcus, but the ball went in the basket. It is a three by Dalron. On the other end, his shot missed, but it's tipped in by Carruthers, and it's 55-33 UNLV.
And the official standing right next to Dalron, Vern Harris, didn't realize that the ball went into the basket and had to be called by the official underneath, Steve Welmer.
Now the ball inbounded and knocked out of bounds by the Rebels. 55-33 UNLV. Dalron Johnson gets credit for a three-point shot, and he has 18 points to lead all scorers tonight. As with 14:08 to go in the ball game, the Rebels lead IPFW 55-33. James Peters will check in for the Rebels for Dalron. (55-33). Marcus in the front court. Marcus played by Woodall. Right side, here's Jay Lou behind the arc. Edwards low right block. Here's a Turner between the two circles for UNLV. Over to Banks, a pick by Peters. Marcus still dribbling up and down. And Spoon wants a 30-second timeout that'll turn into a full on the first coach's timeout of the second half. We'll take the break. 13:45 to go in the game. Rebels 55, IPFW 33 on the UNLV Sports Network. .45 left in the ball game. Rebels lead IPFW 55-33. I've solved the mystery of the Arizona-Oregon game. 9 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay, is Luke Walton playing?
I don't think so.
We'll solve that mystery.
Luke Walton's had ankle problems all year. He keeps re-injuring himself, doesn't he, Gondo?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say it's questionable for the night, but they're a different team when he's on the floor.
J. Lou for 3, no. Rebels lead by 22, and the rebound taken by IPFW by Carruthers over to Woodall. Woodall to Carruthers, comes left side behind the arc, holds it there, looks for a cutter, throws it, and Marcus knocks the ball out of bounds. So that's why on one schedule I saw they had the game listed as Friday, because it would be midnight Eastern time.
You look at the Rebels, though, 15 steals in this game, and Marcus has 7 of them.
Inbound to Woodall, Rebels by 22. Woodall across the white 10-second line here at the MAC. Carruthers right side, Rebels man-to-man exclusively. They've got the ball to the right, and now top of the circle. They swing it left side to Thrasher. His three-pointer misses, and the Rebels rebound. Marcus Banks in the forecourt. Kind of a workmanlike effort by the Rebels tonight against an outmanned team. James Peters' pass is deflected. He gets it back. He bounces a beauty baseline. Edwards puts it up, no, and he's fouled. Two-shot foul.
Well, I had to grab the stat sheet to look at Marcus Banks to see what his career high, and he's tied it now. He had 7 against Tennessee Martin, and in the game tonight, 7, so he could break his career steals and go up with 8.
We were speculating a couple of weeks ago, Gondo, about the possibility of a triple-double for Marcus.
Points, rebounds, and steals,
or
points
or a quadruple-double,
yeah,
even. And we thought that the steals part of that would be the toughest one to get. Well, he's got a great shot at 10 steals tonight.
Yeah, he has 4 assists, 14 points, 7 steals, and 1 rebound. So he's got a little bit of work ahead of him.
In the rebound department,
yeah,
especially.
You'd like to see him get more rebounds.
56-33, JK made the first. Rebels by 23, 12:55 to go, and Edwards one more. And the free throw by JK is on the way, and that's short. And the rebound by Simon for IPFW.
JK righted his average for free throws.
IPFW next in action on Tuesday night against IUPUI. Now we get ball knocked out of bounds on the sideline right by Banks, who's just driving the IPFW guards crazy tonight.
How'd you like to be an announcer in that game? IPFW against IUPUI.
Alphabet soup. Inbound to Knoll, legally in the backcourt, regained by Knoll.
Let's go.
Knoll with a dribble, bounce pass to the right. Collins, 25'3" is a brick. Rebound to Marcus. Rebels look to run. They've got a 5-on-2. Marcus down the middle, comes all the way. He's fouled on the dribble. 7th team foul on IPFW. And Marcus will shoot 1-and-1 with the Rebels leading by 23. Of course, as Harry Carey used to say, IPFW backwards would be WFPI.
That makes sense.
That's probably a radio station in the Midwest somewhere. Marcus, free throw good, qualifies for the bonus. 57-33. Omari Pearson for J.K. Edwards, who leaves with 5 points and 8 rebounds tonight. $15 points for Marcus. Second one on the way by Banks is around, and that is down. Substitution, Demetrius Hunter for the Rebels for Banks. So it's Peters, Turner, Hunter, Pearson, and Bigby on the floor for the Rebels, who go pretty small right now.
Yeah, and Ernest Turner used to be the backup point guard, but now that they've gone with Demetrius, it pretty much backs up Marcus now unless John Nockey comes into the game.
Noel in the front court played by Hunter, and pass knocked out of bounds by the Rebels, who've really been solid defensively, I think, tonight, Gondo.
They have
20 turnovers on IPFW.
And the crowd here hasn't had much to cheer about tonight. This game has gone pretty much as expected, but you know, the Rebels have done what they needed to do.
Has kind of an exhibition-like feel to it. Inbound to Noel between the circles, comes left of the circle now with the dribble for IPFW. Bouncing right side in traffic, Collins 14-footer down. And it's 58-35 UNLV with a dozen minutes left in the game.
When you talk about the defense the Rebels have played, you're looking at 2 leading scorers in Collins and Kesinich, combined only 8 points.
Demetrius with the ball to the top of the circle with the dribble. Left side, here's Bigby. Now to Omari, top of the circle. 18-footer by Omari. Back rim, front rim, no. And the rebound by Simon for IPFW to Collins. Running left side, Kesinich splits the Rebel defense and lays it in for 2. And it's 58-37.
Boy, that's going to get Omari some time on the bench. Spoon did not like the shot selection that time by Omari. Then he doesn't get back defensively, and Kesinich goes right by him.
Now Peters top of the key. Bigby left side, Rebels by 21. Bigby to Hunter. Kicks it right side to Turner, inside to Omari. Omari posting up, and his shot is stuffed by Simon. And the ball to Noel. Noel to Collins. Collins three-pointer left wing, bingo. And it's 58-40. And Spoon wants, needs, and calls a 30-second timeout.
I got an injury by James Peters.
James Peters limping off the floor.
He's got a bloody nose.
And we're going to get a media timeout anyway, so no need for a coach to call time. 11:06 to go in the ball game. Rebels 58, IPFW 40 on the UNLV Sports Network. .58-40, the Rebels have the lead over IPFW. The Rebels inbound the ball with 11:06 to go in the game, and I guess there's a wet spot on the floor. And Rondo, meanwhile, James Peters was taken to the locker room.
Yeah, he had a bloody nose, and that's what they're cleaning up right now. There's some blood on the floor, and I guess it was serious enough for Dave Tomchak, the trainer for UNLV, to take James Peters back into the locker room.
So the Rebels line up on the floor. It's Turner, Bigby, Pearson, Hunter, and Dalron Johnson. 58-40 UNLV. Dalron with 18 points and 3 assists. And Hunter in the forecourt with the ball. Right in front of us, bouncing right side, Bigby, baseline right. Now a left-hand dribble, top of the circle. He's got Turner with it. He's played by Noel on the outside. E.T. gets it off to the right to Dalron. Baseline right to Hunter. Back to Bigby between the circles, swings the ball left side. Turner on the drive, gets it back to Bigby. He drives, he looks for Turner, he's got him. His 18-footer is in and out, no, and the rebound by Simon. Rebels need to get some people who can consistently knock down the outside shot. And Noel in the forecourt. Between the circles, Collins has it. Right side to Jennings, who's back into Kesenich. He lays it up no, and he's fouled by Dalron.
And even though the Rebels are up by 18 with 10:20 to go in the game, you look at the big man for IPFW and David Simon, a double-double in this game with 11 points and 10 rebounds.
You know, with the exception of Dalron and Marcus Banks, the Rebels really haven't had anybody consistently knock down the outside shot this year.
And that time, Ernest Turner wide open. They run the offense and get Ernest Turner a wide open look at the basket, and he can't get the shot to fall.
Well, he's 0 for 2 from the floor and 0 for 2 from the line tonight. Jay Lewis 2 for 8 from the floor and 0 for 4 in his threes. Kesenich, yes, in the foul shot. It's now a 17-point lead. His second one, no, and the rebound by Dalron Johnson. 58-41 UNLV. And Hunter in the forecourt for the Rebels. Demetrius right wing. He's got Dalron between the circles. Swings the ball Bigby left side. Bigby back to Dalron. He's got Pearson open. He lays a great and actually threw it to nobody. Turner was wide open underneath, and I think Omari was trying to throw the ball to a cutting Bigby, and the ball just whistled out of bounds as the Rebels had a great chance for a layup that time and threw it away. And Edwards and Marcus will be in next time it's dead. Knoll with the ball, and diving Bigby swats the ball out of bounds. Nice hustle by Lamar. 58-41. Edwards and Banks for Pearson and Turner for UNLV. Jennings inbounds the ball for IPFW. Inside Simon on the block, and he's fouled from behind by J.K. That's his second, 7th in the team. 1-and-1 coming for Simon. Rebels 58, IPFW 41.
And Dave Tomchek returns to the Rebel bench after taking James Peters to the locker room and thinks that there could be a possibility the nose could be broken.
Free throw by Simon is good. He qualifies for the bonus. Did you ever have to wear one of those masks, Gondo, during a game with the broken nose?
I told you the time. I said that Lonnie Shelton shattered my nose.
That, yeah.
And I had to wear a mask for about 2 weeks, but it's kind of weird getting your nose busted and you have to wear a cast on your face.
It's kind of cumbersome to play with one of those things. 2 free throws good. Rebels by 15. Dalron entry pass to J.K. Nice pass and a foul inside before the shot on Simon. This is solid as I've seen Dalron play offensively in a while, Gondo.
Well, Dalron's got to step up against the bigger and better teams, though, and not just have the big games against teams like an IPFW. And he's capable of it, and certainly the Rebel fans are expecting him.
That's a great point. Edwards 1-and-1, free throw good by J.K. and it's 59-43 UNLV. UCLA is leading Washington in the second half. 3:51 to go. Bruins 69, Huskies 60 up in Seattle. Edwards makes 2 foul shots, and the Rebels lead by 17, 60-43.
Who's going to be the next UCLA coach?
Tough going for Steve Lavin in the early going this year. Rebels some man-to-man pressure as Knoll brings it across the 10-second line. Knoll still has the dribble on the outside. Now comes into traffic, and his pass is stolen, deflected by Hunter over to Marcus. Marcus on the dribble, measuring the dribble. Dalron open, doesn't shoot. Bigby left side. Here's the 3 by Bigby, long, and the rebound to Jennings for IPFW. Over to Collins. Rebels are 3 for 14 on their threes. Inside Simon, backing in, ball back, 5-footer off the glass, no, and he's fouled. And the foul on Bigby. Rebels 60, IPFW 43.
Rebels with 16 steals in this game.
David Simon will shoot 2 for IPFW. One of the assistant coaches for IPFW had a heck of a career, Gondo, both in college and in the NBA. Cliff Livingston had a long NBA career and was a great college player at Wichita State.
He has 2 championship rings, though. He's with Jordan in Chicago when they won those first 2 championships.
Simon made the first, 60-44. Pearson back in for the Rebels. Second one good, 60-45. 9:08 to go. Banks in the front court for the Rebels. Dalron between the circles, whips it right side to Bigby, right in front of Spoon. Looks for a cutter, goes to a 1-bounce dribble. Throws in low, right block to Omari. Give and go back to Bigby, who fumbles it away. and the Mastodons steal it. Ball to Collins, left side flying Woodall. Throws it out on top. Simon coming under, and Simon lays it in for 2. And the Rebel lead is just 13. It's 60-47 as Spoon calls a timeout. Little lapse in concentration, I think, for the Rebels, Gondo, over the last half dozen minutes or so. That and the inability to knock down the outside shot. And IPFW sliced the Rebel lead down to 13.
And we talked about this in the pregame show about the certain times in games where the Rebels get those lapses where they just kind of just sleepwalk through the game because they're having their way. And that's the case tonight here in the second half. And it's important that the Rebels continue to execute because, you know, we talked about upcoming road games, and it's going to be important that the Rebels, or even the Saturday's game against Santa Clara, and then the road games after that. But it's important that the Rebels continue to play at the level they're capable of, and they need to put this game away right now.
After tonight, in my opinion, Gondo, the Rebels won't have an easy game the rest of the year. Maybe New Mexico. I haven't seen New Mexico, but obviously they're down this year. Richie McKay in his first year, and the injury to Sinkyu Carey. But beside that, I don't really see a game where you could say, well, that's going to be a walkover for UNLV the rest of the way.
I think you might have to say, though, New Mexico and Air Force at home.
Yeah, although Air Force is scary. I mean, it's not going to be any fun to play them. But yeah, I'd have to concede that to you. Hunter right side with the ball. Hunter to Dalron, right block. Dalron looks to drive, comes into traffic, 5-footer no, and he's fouled, a 2-shot foul, and Dalron Johnson. They need to get Dalron to the line more. He's one of the best foul shooters in the country, and he shot just 1 free throw in the first half.
Well, that's a byproduct of Dalron is playing too much of a perimeter game. Even if he's on the perimeter, he can put the ball on the floor and take it strong to the basket. But, you know, he has the ability at 6'10" to play with his back to the basket, and certainly against a team like IPFW, you know, it'd be a nice change of kind of his offensive plan to put Dalron down the block and let him play with his back to the basket.
Well, he didn't shoot a free throw against SMU and shot only 3 against West Virginia. Missed the first, made the second. He's 2 for 3 tonight from the line. And it's 61-47 UNLV, and the ball swatted away into Gucci Row on the far side by Hunter. And the Mastodons will inbound the ball. University was founded in 1964 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The current enrollment's about 11,000. Here's a layup off the inbound, scored by Woodall, and it's a 12-point Rebel lead, 61-49. Banks in the front court, right side for UNLV. Picked by Pearson, Marcus around it, fumbles it, Woodall steals it, Marcus steals it back, but we get over and back. Calling on Marcus, although I thought Carruthers got his hand on the ball.
And I thought Woodall had control of the ball before Marcus stole the ball back.
Interesting call. And IPFW can cut this down to 10 or even conceivably 9 with a 3-pointer here. 61-49, and Woodall's got it. Woodall bouncing between the circles. Jay Lou will be in next time it's dead. Collins left side looking in for Kessenich. He's got him low. He's posting up with Dalron, comes under with Dalron, fumbles the ball, saved by Collins, and he called a timeout while flying out of bounds, or Woodall did. And so IPFW will inbound after a 30-second timeout with 7:49 to go in the game, and the Rebels leading by a dozen here, 61-49. And then on the next dead ball after the inbound, we'll get a media timeout here at the Thomas and Mack.
And I'm just kind of looking down at the Rebel team as they huddle around Charlie Spoonhour. They do make this timeout a full timeout now, but James Peters has not returned to the Rebel bench.
So we'll take the break. We'll take the full. 7:49 left. Rebels 61, IPFW 49 on the UNLV Sports Network. With 7:47 left in the game, the Rebels lead by 12, and IPFW off the inbound gets the ball inside to Simon, and he's fouled by J.K. Edwards, and that took about 2 seconds. And Simon shooting 2, and his free throw is good, and it's 61-50. Rebels had a better than 20-point lead about a half dozen, 6 or 8 minutes ago. Simon made the first, made the second, and we have a media timeout with 7:47 left. We'll take the break. It is the Rebels 61, IPFW 51 on the UNLV Sports Network. Rebels 61, IPFW 51. Rebels have let the Mastodons climb back into this ball game. Rebels were leading at one point 58-33. With 12:26 left in the game, the Rebels led 58-33. This is an 18-3 run by IPFW. And now J. Lou with the ball to Hunter. Edwards low on the block, back to Demetrius. Comes into traffic, comes all the way, throws it up. That's no good. J. Lou offensive rebound. Twisting, turning, 5-footer. Good in the key. And it's 63-51.
Good individual effort that time by J. Lou.
So it went from 58-33 to 61-51. And now Kesenich near the 10-second line to Carruthers, left side Woodall. Woodall stops back behind the arc between the circles. Carruthers right of the circle to Collins. Collins foul line drive, runs into J. Lou, no whistle. Edwards after it, they behead J.K.
And J.K. looks like he's hurt.
I'm not sure what they called. They might have just called a... No, they did call a foul on IPFW, I think.
They're calling a foul on Collins.
J.K. comes out of there limping. Remember that James Peters left the ball game with an apparent broken nose earlier in the second half. Spoon and Welmer again continue their discussion right in front of the Rebel bench. 63-51. I wonder if they instant message each other between games. And now Marcus in the front court with the ball. J. Lou pops out left wing, receives the pass. Edwards plays at the high post. He's got it, faces up 18 feet out. Here comes Marcus left side. They've got J. Lou low on the block with Carruthers behind him. Lewis backing into traffic, turns, falls back. 10-footer, good. Nice move by Jermaine Lewis. And it's 65-51. The Rebels kind of a mini 4-0 run after the Mastodons had cut the lead down to 10. Woodall swings it right side to Carruthers. Carruthers dribbles baseline, flips it off to Woodall now. Sideline left. Inside to Simon, and a foul on J.K., who is in disbelief at the call.
Well, if you're IPFW right now, what you want to do is get the ball inside your big man. And Simon right now with 19 points and 10 rebounds, he's been the offense for the Mastodons.
Rebels with a win here tonight would go to 9-2 on the campaign. That'd be the third best start for the Rebels in the post-Tarkanian era, which began in the 92-93 season, the first of 2 years for Rolly Massimino. And in that year, the Rebels were 16-2. In the 96-97 season, the Rebels were 11-2. And with a win here tonight, they'd go to 9-2. Simon made the first at 65-52. Simon's second one is a brick, and Dalron rebounds. Outlet to Marcus Banks. J. Lou fills the lane right side. Marcus, the trailer, is Dalron. Gets it back to Banks. Right of the circle. Marcus comes top of the circle. Now dribbles through the key. He's fouled going up. That'll be a two-shot foul. Marcus will shoot, with the Rebels leading by 13 with 6:06 to go in the contest. It's easy to say, well, you know, they're not playing that well, and what might they do better? But how many programs, considering a Rebel win here tonight, over the last 28 games, 22-6. That's the equivalent of a full season, including all the Mountain West last year and the postseason last year, and then the first 11 games this year. 28 games, 22 wins, and 6 losses for UNLV. There are a lot of schools of the better than 300 in Division I that would take that in a heartbeat, Gondo.
Yeah, and you know, the incredible run that the Rebels put on at the end of last season was just phenomenal, and to sit here night after night and watch it as it unfolds right in front of you, and then the way that the Rebels have been able to win ugly this year.
4 games decided by 3 points or less, and they've won all 4 of those. 67-52 after the foul shots by Banks. Marcus with 18. Thrasher is back in for IPFW. Illegal pick called on Thrasher. He should have played for the Detroit Pistons group.
The bad boys.
Yeah, that Lane Beer and Rick Mahorn, they should have had a guy named Thrasher on that team.
They did, but his name was Rodman.
Rebels with Banks, Dalron, Hunter, Pearson is on, and J. Lou. Marcus on the outside throws it, intercepted by Clevenger. Clevenger comes up the right, comes all the way, and we get a blocking foul called on the Rebels on Demetrius Hunter, and Clevenger will shoot 2. 67-52. Clevenger is a 6'3" freshman out of Winchester, Indiana. IPFW trying to make it as independent. Second year of Division I. Their first year of playing intercollegiate basketball was the 73-74 season. Their head coach Doug Knowles now in his 4th year at IPFW. He spent 7 years at an NAIA school, Spring Harbor College, before getting the head coaching job at IPFW. Hunter leaves, and Bigby is on for the Rebels, and Clevenger made the first, missed the second. Pearson rebounds. Rebels by 14. Outlet to Banks, flying J. Lou all the way, lays it in for 2 points. And Jermaine Lewis, a strong second half for the Rebels, gets into double figures now with 11 points, and he has 5 rebounds. Rebels by 16. Kesenich to Clevenger, shut off by Lewis, and the ball to Woodall, wide left. Woodall left of the circle, now between the circles to Clevenger. Swings the ball on the right side now. Here's Carruthers over to Kesenich, Kesenich, and his 18-footer message. I knew I'd confuse him with the ex-Cubs shortstop at some point tonight. And now Marcus in the front court. Marcus bouncing down, run left block, twisting to the baseline now. Here's Banks, right side, Bigby. Dribbles baseline, whips it out to nobody, but Marcus runs it down and now kind of lazily goes after it, and so it's stolen away, and Clevenger comes under and lays it in for 2. And Spoon's going to get Marcus out. Marcus glanced over and saw Naki reporting at the 10-second line as Marcus didn't react to go after that ball. It led to a layup.
Well, IPFW, you know, nobody told them that they're supposed to lose this game. They're continuing to play hard.
And Marcus give and go. He's got, or pick and roll. He's got Dalron left side from 10. No, and he's fouled. And Dalron will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. Looked like the Rebels had a shot for a real serious blowout when, with 12:26 left, they were up by 25, 58-33. But that 18-3 run by IPFW made it much too interesting as far as Spoon was concerned. It was 61-51, and now it's 69-55, and it's 70-55 as Dalron makes the foul shot. And Naki and the Naki fan club reacts to his appearance, and Marcus takes a seat.
Yeah, Marcus not too happy about having to take a seat on the Rebel bench.
Delron made the first, made the second, and it's 71-55. IPFW ball, and over and back called on a pass from Clevenger to Woodall, who says, I was in the front court. What did you call? 71-55, and that's 25 IPFW turnovers. John Naki in the front court with the ball for the Rebels. Played briefly in the first half. Pick high by Bigby. Naki fumbles it and gets called for a double dribble. Easy play to call. 16-point lead, 4:08 to go. 71-55. Thrasher will inbound the ball. Woodall in the forecourt across the white 10-second line. Naki playing Woodall defensively. Woodall drives around him, comes underneath, lays a great pass to Simon. Shot blocked by Bigby. Foul on Bigby. 2 shots for Simon. Or check it, they called it on Omari. Foul on Pearson before the block by Bigby.
Well, I really don't think that David Simon really fit into the Rebel scouting report, you know, that he was going to be this good of a player. And he's put together a real solid performance tonight for the IPFW team. But when you look at Kessinger, who with Kessenich, excuse me, with 5.
See, I got you started on that.
And Collins with 9, their 2 leading scorers combined, you know, only 14 points between those 2 players. And, you know, and here's Simon with 20 points and now 21 points and 10 rebounds.
Banks at first, Beckert at second, Kessinger at short, Santo at third. Second free throw good, 3:57 to go. Glenn Beckert, 3:57 to go in the game. Rebels, Santo, and he still thinks he should be in the Hall of Fame. Rebels 71, IPFW 56. Rebels by 15 on the UNLV Sports Network. Rebels inbound the ball. They got a 15-point lead at 71-56, and John Naki brings the ball into the forecourt. Woodall defensively man-to-man for IPFW. Bounce pass. Here's the flip to Bigby right side. Baseline right to Delron Johnson. 1 bounce dribble top to J. Lou. 2 Naki. Looks for a cutter. Holds it over there. Left side behind the arc. Bigby eyes the 3, doesn't shoot it. Pearson pops out high ball to J. Lou. Open look. 3-pointer brick. Missed everything but glass on the other side. And the rebound to Carruthers. And now Woodall, wide open look, 3-pointer, ugly. Rebound tip, Naki gets beheaded, and Naki comes out of there with the ball. Rebels have a 3-on-2. Naki kicks it, fumbles it, Pearson's got it. Naki to Delron, inside J. Lou posting up. J. Lou has it swatted out of bounds by Simon. I'll tell you, this game is not going to make either team's highlight reel this year.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the bench, though, that you look at Paulus and Osborne, and they're just upset because they're not going to get a chance to play.
I'm not sure Paulus is going to play this year. He's coming back from a serious knee injury. Might not want to give up the year of eligibility. Marcus with the ball right in front of us. Delron's got it 30 feet out straight away. A pick by Pearson. pick and roll. Now they go inside to Jay Lou, back to Dowron. He rises for a 2 that misses badly, and the rebound taken by IPFW. Now Woodall is in the front court. Top of the circle, Clevenger dribbling right side, puts up a running right-hander that's down, and it's 71-58 with 2:42 to go.
You know, this is almost a psychological victory for IPFW to just keep the game close.
I agree, and they've played really hard. Marcus on the drive, no, and a foul before the shot. IPFW has played very hard, and they've worked very hard to execute their stuff. They haven't fallen apart as a ball club, and as a coach in what has been a nightmare of a year for them. As we said, their second year of Division I ball, having to play all these road games, 2-12 on the season. You just want to keep your team together. And there's no doubt that they've done that tonight. I think they can be proud of their effort. Marcus, 2 shots, free throw good. Meanwhile, the Rebels have played, I think, Gondo, a pretty spotty second half, but I guess not an easy game to play either.
Yeah, Spoon's going to be happy with the way they played in the first 20 minutes, but the second 20, you know, when they break down film, I don't think he's going to be real happy with the effort in the second half.
Some lapses, not a lot of concentration, and again, I'm a little concerned about some of the outside shooting. Woodall in the front court.
And 19 turnovers.
Yeah, really. Clevenger top of the circle, and a foul inside on Omari playing Simon, 73-58. As Spoon said on the postgame show the other night, there's no doubt this team needs to find another level as we get into the meat of the schedule, especially that trifecta where the Rebels go to DePaul, go to BYU, and have a big Monday game against Utah. I think a lot of people look at the Santa Clara game and say automatic win for the Rebels, but they will be a very solid team. Dick Davey does a good job with that club, a disciple of one of the most respected coaches out here in the West, Carroll Williams, who coached the Broncos for many years. 2 free throws good, 73-60.
Plus they've won 6 straight.
Won 6 straight, and they're 9-3. Remember Carroll Williams and the Ogden brothers and Dennis Autry in that group. Jay Lou 3, no, rebound Simon, and Jay Lou just can't buy an outside shot. And in the front court, bad pass, whistles out of bounds to the Rebels. Jay Lou is 0 for 6 from three-point country, and the Rebels as a team tonight are 3 for 16, and they lead by 13, 73-60.
And Marcus with a career high in steals tonight with 8.
Marcus with the ball between the circles, backs out near the 10-second line. Now the ball left side to Lewis. Jermaine goes to a 1-bounce dribble, holds it, kicks it to Dowron, who fumbles it. Jay Lou regains it, comes down the middle, throws it away. Stolen by Woodall, and an intentional foul called on Demetrius Hunter. 2 shots end the ball for IPFW. 73-60 UNLV.
And Demetrius fouls out.
Left. And Bigby is on for UNLV for Hunter.
Wait a minute. That's intentional?
Now Spoon just found out that was intentional.
Yeah, after all the players backed off the free throw lane.
He said that was intentional after some of the stuff that wasn't called intentional tonight.
And his buddy Steve Wilmer is the one that makes the call.
Free throw is missed by Woodall. He'll get one more, 1:37 left. This one's on the way, and that one is no good. So he put up a couple of bricks. 73-60. Knoll is back in for IPFW. Spoon will get his 30th win as the Rebel mentor, 30-13. And the Santa Clara game will provide Charlie Spoonhour the opportunity to get career win number 350. It'll be 349 and 184. Aren't that many coaches that get to 350. Simon in the key says he walks. 73-60. 125 to go. Doesn't this game, the second half, have kind of an exhibition game feel?
Well, and there's 10,411 fans here tonight, and they've already hit the exits, and it's been very quiet. They had nothing really much to cheer about, but, you know, the game has kind of gone almost as expected, but you expected the Rebels to really blow them out earlier.
Pearson inside, gets fouled, going up a 2-shot foul. The actual attendance, certainly smaller than the official paid crowd. Tough night, though, with the Orange Bowl on TV, which was won by the Trojans, by the way, over Iowa, 38-17, USC. I really think that right now SC is the second best team in college football.
Were you hinting there should be a playoff?
Well, that's a long story. I don't know. You know what was weird was the free throw missed by Omari and the efforts to determine a national champion. I think they have cheapened the other bowls. I mean, I had no interest in watching the Rose Bowl yesterday, and that was a must for me every year. It just seemed odd having Oklahoma in there. I mean, no matter how the teams had done, top 10, top 20, or out of the top 20, it was always the tradition of the Pac-10 versus the Big Ten champs.
Plus the fact, though, too, the way Oklahoma dominated the Rose Bowl.
Clevenger's 3-0 and the rebound by Delron. I'd like for them to, here's the dribble by Marcus, right side to Bigby. 55 seconds left in the game, and the Rebels by 14, and Delron brings it back out. And this final score will be very similar to the scores of IPFW's games against the rest of the Mountain West this year. Marcus on top with the ball. Marcus down the middle, puts up a 10-footer in the key, no. The rebound hits the floor, Marcus gets it back. Reverse layup, they block it, and the ball out of bounds. But the bridge version, the answer to your question, I'd like them to keep the integrity of the Bulls, but have a 4-team playoff after the Bulls, have a Final Four for college football. Because I just don't think, I think the thought of a playoff, just don't think it's going to happen. It's almost not worth discussing because I don't think the presidents would go for it.
More money to the schools.
Yeah.
And conferences. But IPFW is going to finish tonight being 0-5 against Mountain West Conference teams.
Here's a steal coming under all the way. Carruthers lays it in for 2. 74-62. 10 seconds left, and the Rebels in no hurry, and they probably won't shoot again. IPFW won the second half by 5 points. As this ball game is history, the Rebels win it 74-62. Stay tuned. Our post-game coverage follows after these messages on the UNLV Sports Network.